Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Soft Power Project. And today I would like to share with you guys the reality of my reinvention journey, specifically in 2025. As you guys probably know, I have restarted my life ever since I turned 35. So for 7 years, I had started over my life again and again. But this year has been the hardest, the most humbling, yet the most rewarding year ever. I wanted to just share kind of what went on this year, especially this time last year, and just bits and pieces if I can share, because I know as much as I wanted to be vulnerable and very open to my journey, sometimes as I'm going through certain things, I just felt like life was too messy for me to put into words. And hopefully today I can give you those bits and pieces. So let's go back to last year in December. I was very much in a space where I was in denial. I knew leaving, the job that provided me regular salary was going to be painful, but I also knew that it's something I absolutely had to do. There was no other option, but I'll also tell you, I did not have anything lined up. I wanted to do soft power project, but I had no idea what it's going to be like. And I kept wanting to record the first episode, but every time I do it, I deleted it. I don't know how many times I recorded the first episode. I think probably up to 15, even 20. And I was never happy about it. I just didn't know how to start. I was so afraid to be judged. And I was so afraid that no one would listen. No one wanted to join. So I kept putting it off. So last year, this time, I had no clue. I kept putting it off. So I was very much in denial. And it was also the month where I told my team where I'm leaving. And actually, it was a couple of us that are leaving that bigger team. And I was ahead of the team at the same time. So I felt so guilty. I feel like I failed them. I felt like I didn't do my, duty as a protector of my team. But I was also equally proud of my team and the work that we had done. So it was really complicated. And I prepped some gifts for them. And my colleague also left. We prepped, this Christmas party. So we told them, we'll pay for it, but go ahead and find a venue and plan for it. So we flew over to the headquarters of the company and we had this big goodbye, and they were surprised, they were sad. And we had this Christmas party. And then we had this hug goodbye where I cried so, so much. I hated crying in public. I think I'm still so uncomfortable doing that, but I think it really also showed me just how sad I was last year, like really leaving that team and everyone was crying. But it was a really good moment because I told them, it was goodbye, but not forever. But, I was so proud of them. So that was December 2024. Now, 2025, the first 2 months, it was worse. So I went from denial into slowly accepting this ending, and grieving the ending, and also went on complete panic mode. I was like, I did not know what to do when it comes to even money. I was really proud of the way I could be financially independent and raising my daughter by myself. So I kept questioning that. Am I doing the right thing? Because I have a daughter to raise. Am I going insane to to give up that job, but then it was making me so unhappy. And I know ultimately that would affect my daughter as well. So I was full on panicking, but because a lot of things were still happening, because, after we announced that we were leaving, lots of people opened up about this opportunity here and there. And, we had meetings. I had meetings late at night trying to talk to people in the States and people in Korea and trying to line up to see how we can all work together, especially helping brands in Asia to market in United States. And so there are a lot of talks and a lot of potential opportunity. And that kind of went on for like 2, 3 months. And nothing was said. Like it was sounded great, but every single meeting or every single those potential cases fell through or they just kind of disappeared. And there was also at the same time where a lot of our connection actually, and my connection in the States, they were going through layoffs and, the tariff situation were happening. So no one really knew what was going to happen. And I think everyone sort of felt it. I do not blame them at all for going silent or even ghosting us or ghosting me, because I think ghosting or silence is an answer. That means it's a no. But when I started to get these type of response over and over again at a certain point, it really felt, it sucks. There's no other words for it. It really sucked. So talking about rejection, 2025 for me was full of rejection. So at the same time, I think back in, March this year, I decided to just record and just do it. Just let me just publish it. It may suck, but I don't care anymore. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to commit to it. So I asked a couple of people around me through my network to see if they would like to be on my podcast. And, I'm so grateful for the first few guests because they really kept me going and given me the boost. Incredibly grateful for them. And so getting a little bit of confidence, I just kept pushing. The honest truth is that the first 4, 5, even 6 months of making the podcast felt really, really alone. And even though, I had the guests telling me that they really enjoyed the interview, they really liked the content, I still felt like I don't know who's listening. Like, who is actually listening? Podcast is a thing where it's not like YouTube where it's clear, but podcasts, you kind of you would know probably a month later the real actual number. So everything was very, very fuzzy, unclear. At the same time, like I said, there was a lot of ghosting happening. I even submitted a ton of different like resumes, versions of resume. I even called, headhunters to really start to wonder if I should get a real job because, that sense of, security when it comes to money, that sounds good. But nothing actually happened. And I think it wasn't until August this year, which is actually just a few months ago, that I finally faced the fact that that's not rejection, it's redirection. And I finally faced the fact that if I'm going to do soft power, I better do this 100% and stop looking for an excuse or stop looking for distraction. Because honestly, if I get a full-time job, I would not be able to do this well. I could probably do this on the weekend, but then, I know I would get really busy. So, it was just universe kept sending me messages about, do you actually want to do this? Because I'm giving you this time and opportunity to just work on what you need to work on. And I am really just taking all these distractions away. So yeah, that actually was what I had to go through. And also at the same time, building up my coaching career has been, I would say, very interesting as well, because I was a coach for a very long time, but the content of the coaching was different, and kind of really finding my footing, where I fit in and how do I stand out from the million coaches out there. And there are some really amazing coaches out there. Just really finding my footing has been a really interesting journey as well. So here it is. The reality is that no, it's not supposed to be easy. It's not supposed to be linear. Definitely not my case anyway. I constantly went through this, the ending, the shedding, the in between, the becoming, the expansion, like all different phases all happening at the same time. And I think the number one lessons that I'm walking away from this is that, yes, rejection is redirection. And if you wanted to commit to do something, you got to do it. Stop looking for excuses. Stop looking for things that make you feel safe, because this growth journey is not about feeling safe. It's about being like going back to yourself, the most authentic self, and reaching and really expanding to the point where you would surprise yourself. So yeah, if I had to go back and tell my 41, I'm almost 43, so 41-year-old self that, you know, in 2025 December, you're going to have, I think, 50 plus episodes, and you're going to about 5,000 downloads, or your Instagram followers will be about 6,000 and more. I would not believe myself. And if I had actually given a full-time job somewhere, I would not be able to do this. I hope everyone just give yourself more grace. And I'm reminding myself as well, more grace, more space, and just a lot of time to allow yourself to reset and recentered. And it's okay to be scared. And I know, because I'm scared all the time. I'm scared every single time when I had to do something a little bit riskier. Sometimes if I post content that I am vulnerable about and with, and I would feel so cringy and scared to post, but I always feel really grateful afterwards, because I know I am stronger than I expected. And I just wanted to do a little announcement going forward, at least, leading to the end of December. I do wanted to do some compilation of what I've learned, all these amazing lessons that I've learned from the guest. So stay tuned for that. It does take quite a bit of time to really go back and kind of do these little edits and then piece them together. But I really wanted to do that because I'm so grateful for all of these guests who had been on my show. Thank you guys so, so much for listening. And I can't wait to bring these wonderful lessons to you guys. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.